Hello and welcome to Design Boss Dialogue, the podcast where bold and ambitious women in interior design come for real conversations to transform and take their businesses to new heights. I am your host, Lisa Marie Elkhadraoui, interior designer and business mentor, here to share my experiences and insights into running an interior design business, as well as empowering you to build the confident, profitable design business you've been dreaming of and truly deserve. In this space, we blend creativity with strategy to help you craft your success and thrive in the world of design. Every episode is packed with unfiltered, no BS conversations, daily inspiration, and actionable business tips to turn your passion into a thriving, cash-rich business. Together, we're redefining what it means to succeed in the interior design industry, one intentional, game-changing decision at a time. So get ready to step up, elevate, and create the design empire you've always envisioned. Welcome back to today's podcast. Today, I am joined by Adam, who is the founder of Adam James Hair Salon based in Oxted High Street, which is not your average hair salon. It delivers a unique approach to hairdressing, creating more of an experience rather than a service, working on a deeper connection with your stylist in a one-to-one setting where it's so much more about the hair. And today, we're going to be talking about how hair creates a huge impact in your business. We're going to talk about your connection and intuition with the right hairstylist and how to carry yourself into discovery calls and connecting with your first clients. Adam, welcome.
Hello, thank you. It's a nice introduction.
It's lovely.
Very nice.
Welcome to today's podcast.
Thank you.
You are not only a hairstylist and a founder of an award-winning, amazing company, but you've been a friend of mine and my personal stylist for 10 years now, looking after the higher self crown. How does hair impact your business and how you carry yourself as a businesswoman?
I think in many ways, I think it's about mainly confidence, perception, and brand. I feel like obviously, if your hair feels on point and you feel your best self, you're going to behave differently. People are going to perceive you differently. And if it's in line with your brand, then obviously it's all cohesive and it works together. If something's off, then it's not going to work correctly.
Absolutely.
So it's hugely important to every business owner, really.
And I suppose it's also about, when I talk to women, I talk a lot about like higher future self. Hair naturally comes into that.
Yeah.
How important is it to make sure hair is part of a businesswoman's routine?
I feel like hair can have so many different meanings to people, can't it? I feel like it's a really good way of, if you are trying to step into a higher self, there's nothing more impactful and quick and easy to change something about your hair. So like in January and September, we have quite a lot of people that come in with their 2026 plans or their, end of year plan, and quite often changing something, it can only be a little tweak with your hair, can make a massive difference. Yeah, with regards to the overall brand, if something is not quite in line with your brand, people will spot that. And I think it's just a really good way yourself getting into a role, almost like a character, or working at your highest level.
So have you had any clients that have had their hair done with you, or they have stepped into their business or their roles and they've noticed a huge impact when they have or haven't had their hair done?
All the time. So I had a really lovely client last year. I'd never done her hair before, and she came to the salon. She'd heard through friends that this was a salon to go to. She arrived and she was going for a real sort of big career jump for her.
Okay.
Quite a corporate position. And her hair was quite sort of schoolgirl-like. It was just very long, very one length. And she didn't feel like that was going to be...
That's not going to cut it.
No, it's not going to be the best representation of her. So we had a really good consultation, and I sort of said, if we maybe just bring the length up, obviously it needs to suit your face shape and your hair texture, but by sort of cutting her hair much shorter and much more blunt, she did look so much more professional. And she expressed the fact that she's really not great at styling it. So the morning of her interview, she came in and I styled her hair for her, super neat. And she walked out incredibly confident. And to be fair, I knew she was going to get the job, and she did. And 2 weeks later, she came in. She was like, "Oh my God, I got the job. It's all down to you," which obviously most of it is, but not all of it. So it can, it can be really life-changing having the right haircut and the right style, as I said before, for perception and for your own confidence. I do feel like if you are more confident in your leading with a different energy, then that all ties in, doesn't it? Someone's going to treat you differently. Your day is going to go different. I mean, even if you're not doing it for a job interview, but just day-to-day life. Obviously, when people come into the salon, they often come in and they're sort of tired and they've got all their, stuff going on in their life. And 2 hours later, we have a nice experience, we have a laugh. They leave and they literally leave like different people, which obviously is why we love our job so much.
And obviously, the way you've positioned your salon,
yeah,
for anyone that is in around the London and Surrey area that come and visit. And I know you've got a huge long wait list of nearly a year to kind of get into the salon to see you. What is the experience you have created here as a business owner, because you've realised there's a gap in the market and what women need?
I feel like for us, it is about the hair, but it's less about the hair. The hair's sort of almost secondary. It's mainly about experience and connection with the stylist. And I feel like if you're going to a salon where there are loads of people, 20 chairs, and it's buzzy and you're doing 2 people at once, it's very hard as the stylist and as the client to get that connection. So over the years, I've worked in quite a few salons throughout London, and I tried to strip back the things that I didn't like: being rushed, being pressured. Working with 2 people at once essentially is quite difficult. I didn't want it to feel like a salon environment. I wanted it to feel much more homely, which obviously you helped me with. So for me, it's more about connection, because I just feel like once you've made that connection, you've got that client for life, haven't you?
Absolutely. And obviously we'll touch more later on in the podcast about how important it is to build that connection and find the right hairstylist. But going back to the hair and the way it makes a woman feel in her business, let's talk about the processes in which they go through, from like a confidence, pricing, all of that, and how the right hairstyle and haircut can accelerate and elevate a woman.
Yeah, I think it can elevate anyone, can't it? It's sort of, if you are turning up for a client meeting and you get out of the car and you are messy, your hair's tied up, you are in a scrunchie, in a little scrunchie and a tracksuit, and as you say, you've got all papers hanging around and you're in a mess, straight away that client has perceived you as out of control, a little bit scatty, messy. People don't want to work with people like that. I wouldn't want to hire a designer that appeared like that.
Wouldn't naturally hand over a £50,000 contract to a designer that kind of turned up and looked like that, or didn't align with the brand, would you?
Also, it's all about trust, isn't it? So if someone gets out and they look up together, you trust them straight away, don't you? Yeah. And I think a lot of this is done subconsciously. Like, I know that even if I go to a restaurant and I am super casual, I probably am not as confident and, charismatic. I'm sort of sitting there feeling a bit conscious because I don't look the part. You're going to be treated different. Yeah. You're not going to get the best seat in the restaurant. So I feel like it's about perception and it's about the way you act when you feel confident.
I certainly think once I've had my hair done and I'm going to client meetings, board meetings, Zoom calls, I certainly feel so much more elevated as a businesswoman. I can notice how I carry myself compared to if I haven't done my hair that day, maybe, obviously I have to do it daily because of this little accessory that's
the fringe situation. Yeah.
the power fringe, as we call
it. Yeah.
But I certainly feel so much more elevated when I have my hair done, when I'm going into meetings and I'm really carrying myself a lot more. And that feels so much more nicer, and it gives you so much more confidence, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, talking about your fringe, it was quite the moment putting the fringe in.
It was a big moment in the business, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
And I feel like since you've had your fringe, it's become a bit of a statement. It's become your little thing that is you associate with a new chapter in your life.
Yeah.
And as I said previously...
A new business. We did it for the new business, didn't we?
Yeah. And I feel like that's a really easy way, as I said before, to change something up. It doesn't need to be drastic. It can be the way you style it. It can all make, you can tie these things in with like a new elevation of yourself, can't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously when your hair is styled and you feel great, you're going to have a great day, aren't you? It does make complete sense.
It really helps. And I think also for the business women and whoever is listening, whether you're in the interior design industry or you're in any other services or industries, I think especially if you're wanting to change the brand perception and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to go for a brand photo shoot. The one thing I would say to that woman is work with your stylist on how your hair should look for the shoot. And if you can get your hair done the morning of the shoot or the day before the shoot and really go through how to just do that touch-up styling, because yes, you can have great makeup, but if your hair's off, you're still not going to be the same. But you can have lighter touch makeup and your hair is $1 million. You're going to completely carry yourself differently in the shoot, aren't you?
Yeah, totally. I think also, obviously, as designers, you get briefs, don't you, from your clients?
Yeah.
It's really nice when we get a brief. So if someone comes in and says, I've got this photo shoot today, I want to perceive this image.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like it's, again, about the relationship and being open with your stylist, telling them as much as you can. You don't have to tell them your whole life story. But, you know, we are detailed people a bit like you are.
Yeah.
So if someone comes to us and says, you know, this brand shoot needs to look super corporate, we are obviously not going to do massive curly waves. If you are a brand that's pitching for a business that's a boho beach house in Ibiza, then we are probably going to make it a bit more
wavy,
beachy, wavy. And, you know, so it's about tailoring and these are just like subtle cues, aren't they? So even if you are not, as a person, a beachy, boho-y kind of girl, but you know the person you are trying to get the business from is, and that's the business you're trying to win, then these little nods sometimes just give the client confidence to see that you can fit into their brand. And, you know, the opposite is the same, isn't it? Like if you turned up, for instance, if you turned up to do a hotel design that was super corporate, 5-star hotel, and you turned up extremely boho-y, it's a mismatch, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I feel
it's
like...
the perception gap, isn't it?
The perception gap, exactly. I feel like if you have inquired with a designer, you've probably been on their website, been on their Instagram. If someone then turns up and they're not what you perceive, straight away you're on a back foot, aren't you?
Yeah.
You've got to work harder to
get that over
gap.
the line.
Yeah.
I think it's really important also from a pricing perspective, and this is something we talked about off air, from a pricing perspective, if you are carrying yourself with the hair that you want to carry yourself with going into meetings as well, the perception gap is aligned, you look part of the brand image that you're trying to create, and your hair is on point and your appearance is on point, you are going to get that client quicker. You're going to be able to carry yourself so much more confidently, and they are going to want to part with the money because you are positioning yourself as a premium service provider. And that client, it's just then, it's not about the money. It's not about, you know, coming down to those negotiation points. It's, we want to feel aligned with the person that we're working with.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like if you are not confident in your own appearance and your own approach to that situation, it comes off, doesn't it? People automatically, they're cautious with their money. They don't want to hand money over to someone that they feel like is not going to be the best person for that situation. So obviously if you are feeling confident and you're feeling on point, straight away people trust you more. As soon as you've got trust, people are happy to command higher prices. So it all comes back to the same thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And also clothes and makeup and the whole package does work together. But as you say, if you have got beautiful clothes, lovely makeup, and your hair is a mess, doesn't really work, does it? Unfortunately. No, it doesn't, does it?
It doesn't work at all. It's obviously taken me many, many decades to find the right person that I trust with my hair.
Yeah.
And we have an amazing connection, and you are very aligned to my brand, how I want my hair. We only have to give very limited briefs now when we come into the salon and we talk because you know and understand my hair so well
Yeah.
and what I want for the business and how I'm feeling. And it's taken me a long time to find my golden nugget, my Adam.
Yeah.
For women that are needing their Adam in their lives and finding that right connection, because I know going into salons can be a very scary experience.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And working with new stylists can be really daunting because some women's hair is their crown. What advice would you give women to find their own Adam?
Yeah. I mean, I would say if you are new to an area or you just haven't found your person, I would definitely look around at other women that you feel like look maybe similar to how you'd like to look or got the same vibe as you. Ask them where they get their hair done. I mean, usually, unfortunately, the people that are great are the ones with the least appointments.
Yeah.
So if someone's got massive amount of availability, doesn't mean they're not your person, but generally it's a sign that they're maybe not as great at the connection or the hair as the person that hasn't got the appointments. And if that's the case, I would say always go into a salon. There's no point in trying to book online because there's going to be no appointments. Be really nice to the person that's doing the appointments and just sort of try and get in there a little bit. And once you have found your person, I mean, we want to work with people that we feel like we're aligned with. Because it's so much easier than someone when it's not a fit, it's not a fit. And that's fine. I'm happy if I have someone in my chair and it's not a fit and I feel like they'd be better off with another stylist. I would encourage them to book it. I'd get the other stylist over and say, oh, this lady's thinking of this style. Maybe you'd be better at doing it next time. I think as long as you approach that right, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, I mean, I've got clients that I've worked with for 10 years, 20 years, who, when you've got the connection, it's amazing. Usually, you know, you'll arrive at the appointment, you've usually got the same idea. I mean, I've literally turned up before and said, oh my God, look at this picture. And we've got exactly the same picture.
Yeah. And we're like, how crazy is this?
Yeah.
This is what we want.
So to find that person, I would say always give the stylist a couple of goes.
Okay.
I think if you book in with someone and they, obviously, if it's disastrous, don't go back. But sometimes as a stylist, it takes a couple of goes to work out, one, someone's hair, how it responds to things, because it's all individual. And two, to build that connection. Like some people are not very good at opening up on the first appointment. They won't necessarily tell you everything, or they get nervous coming into salons. I totally get that. And again, that's why we've tried to set it up more like a home and one-to-one and very relaxed. And we always try to sit next to people because it can be really intimidating. And if it is, they're going to close up and they're not going to sort of guide you and relax and sort of open up to you. But yeah, ask around basically and go into the salons and go for a consultation. I feel like sometimes even if you've got a stylist that you've been with for years and you feel like maybe they're, like if you've been doing someone's hair for 20 years, sometimes subconsciously you are thinking of that person in their previous version of their self, aren't you? It's natural. If you are with someone and it evolves and you evolve together, great. But sometimes you don't. Sometimes you might feel like, oh, my stylist doesn't really get it anymore.
Yeah.
Go for a consultation with someone else. Go for a blow dry with someone else and see if you can get a connection. It doesn't mean you even need to necessarily leave your stylist. You could maybe just share and sort of get some ideas from that person and go back to that person. But yeah, definitely connection is incredibly important. Also, if someone makes a mistake on your hair, like how detrimental to business and confidence would that be?
Yeah.
If you came in, I mean, even if I trimmed your fringe ever so slightly short, so it wasn't a big hair drama, but if it was a few millimeters short, you're not going to feel confident, are you?
Absolutely.
And that's only going to take 3 to 4 weeks to grow out. But if someone does something fairly disastrous.
Yeah. And I think the knock-on impact from sales, visibility aspect, because obviously nowadays, when we look at the frameworks in women's businesses, yes, we always look at the soulful piece of the higher self and the future self and bridging that energetic gap. But there's also that piece of, constant visibility, constant sales structure, showing up, video content. And if your hair is or has had a disastrous moment with a hairstylist, and they can't get you back in for a couple of days, or they can't get you back in for a week, and you've got to rectify it or wait, that's going to have a knock-on impact in how you perform in your business. So it is a hugely detrimental.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if you had content that you were going to record for the next 2 weeks and your fringe was too short or your hair wasn't how you wanted it, actually you wouldn't really be confident doing. So you're 2 weeks behind just for that one tiny little thing that hasn't gone right. Which, to be honest, is why we take it super seriously. And, our consultations are everything, because usually that's where it goes wrong. It's not usually a skill thing. It's a miscommunication thing. And again, once you've found your person, you don't really even need to communicate it, do you? Like, how nice if you came to an appointment with me. You do give quite a good brief, to be fair. But
I was going to talk about briefs.
But sometimes people come and say, do what you want. They absolutely don't mean do what you want. They mean, I trust you. You've never made a mistake. You always make me look amazing. So therefore, they're going to trust your opinion almost more than their self. But that only comes with time. I feel like there are a certain group of women, clients who have a lot of one-night stands with hairdressers. So they will only go for one appointment and they're like, oh, I haven't found my person. I totally get it. Or sometimes maybe they've not given that person enough of a chance. You need to be in a long-term relationship with your hairdresser, not just having one-night stands.
I think it's also like coaches. You need to be a long-term relationship with your coach. You can't just have these quick wins, in and outs, because you're not going to get the same results. And it's like that with hairdressers as well, isn't it? You have to have the longevity and go the distance with your hairstylist.
But also back to coaching. I mean, if you were I've worked with a coach before for many years, and then it reached a point where I felt like, okay, it's come to an end. I don't feel like we've gone in the same direction and we've carried forward in the same level. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like this person had seen me what I was like 10 years ago. So then sometimes it's time to find someone new and fresh, and it's exactly the same as hair. And like obviously interior design is all about aesthetic and a feeling, and that is so translatable to hairstyling. I love doing designers and artistic people's hair, because usually you can talk to them in paint colours.
Oh, I know, isn't it?
Literally, like I have said to people before, I'm going to put a toner on. It's sort of beigey, warm, but not. And they're like, okay, like what? And I'm like, elephant's breath.
Oh, right, yeah.
Okay, So basically, I usually talk in variable paint colours. But it works. And that's because I know you're an interior designer. And you know that version of a toner. When I'm into my interiors, I love an interior. So, I can translate a
better
a hair colour chart into like a variable paint colour chart.
Which is quite...
But again, that's a communication skill, isn't it?
If someone was new coming into your salon, or you were working with someone new for the first time, and you love a brief, like designers, we love a detail brief. Hairdressers love a detail brief. What would you encourage a businesswoman to come in with to deliver their brief?
So I would say definitely pictures. Try to make sure they're not AI. Because that's a big thing at the moment. We're getting pictures that are just obviously very unrealistic. They're not, they're not a picture. So try and check they're not AI. And again, I would say try and come in with the connection. So rather than just bombarding you with loads of pictures, tell them briefly who you are, what you're trying to achieve. Are you trying to, if you just want to look pretty, say that. Just say, I want to just feel pretty and nice. And, most people, like I tend to work with a lot of business women. They are my kryptonite. Like I love a fun CEO vibe is my person I absolutely thrive with, and I love it. So for them, usually it's more like what they've got planned for the year. I won't be able to, like I've got a lot of people that come from a real long way away. And not everyone can book in every 3 weeks. Sometimes, they have a meeting or they're going away for work. And again, it's about being adaptable and me sort of saying, there's plenty of products on the market that you can put a little root touch-up powder, or I will investigate a salon if they're going to New York for business. Like, this salon looks good, maybe book in there for a blow dry. So yes, it's, as I say, more than just a haircut. We try and have the connection and,
I think it goes back to the values and the business's mission and purpose of what you've created. It's just so much more about hair, isn't it?
Yes.
It's everything else that comes with it.
Yeah. And also I feel like a lot of women that operate at a certain level have got so many decisions to make during their day. they get a bit of decision fatigue, don't they?
Mm.
So when you arrive at a salon, if you've been working with that stylist for quite a few years and you don't have to make all the decisions and someone can say, I've been thinking about your hair, how about we do this? How great that you don't have to take time away from your schedule to actually look at all pictures and try and come up with your own brief.
Yeah.
How nice if you can just have that person working in the background knowing that you're going to turn up for an appointment and they're going to get it right because you've got enough decisions to make elsewhere.
I know I always get a huge amount of compliments every time I have my hair done or I've just come out of the salon, if I'm going on Zoom calls, and it's so shiny. It looks so luxurious, and you've worked for years on my hair and used some of the most amazing. You've got your own product line now that's available out on the market. And I think for me, being that woman that has multiple businesses and has decision fatigue, coming in and sitting in the chair and knowing that for the next 2 hours, it's just about me and my hair, but I don't have to make those decisions. And I just say, Adam, you know what you need to do. I need to feel like this when I walk out the salon and it's done, is just the most amazing opportunity and experience a woman could have.
Yeah. And also I feel like if you are busy and you are tired, you've got a lot going on, actually it can be quite a pampering. If you go to the right salon, it can be pampering. Like, we will look after you, we'll make you a beautiful cup of tea, and if your back's hurting, I'll give you a massage while your colour's on. Do you know what I mean? We will go that extra mile, and there are salons out there that do that. So again, it's finding the right environment for you. And back to sort of like healthy hair, like I've got a client friend of mine who owns a wellness brand, and she came to me probably 3 or 4 years ago and her hair was really bad. Like, she didn't really have any hair, to be honest. It was just whatever. It just wasn't in the best state at all. So we've worked over 4 years. We've done everything. We've done extensions. We've done lots of treatments, lots of strengthening products, lots of everything. And she literally looks like a different person. And I think if you're trying to promote health and wellness, if someone meets you and your hair looks like it's
a little bit fly away,
well, dead.
Was I really polite there?
Yeah, you were. Yeah, well, it was just honestly so bad.
Yeah.
That doesn't give you an image of wellness, does it?
No,
so again, that's a brand mismatch. So even like investment-wise, for her investing a lot of time and a lot of money in her hair has made given her a massive advantage in her business, because people now see her as, well.
Yeah.
And actually, like, when your hair is beautiful and shiny, you don't need to have it doesn't need to be anything crazy, does it? Just nice. I mean, for us, we sort of specialize in classic, healthy, shiny, nice hair. Like, we're not about, we can do it, but we're not particularly about like asymmetrical haircuts and all of that stuff. We're just sort of quite timeless and classic, and people know that.
Elevated premium hair.
Yes. And for us, like, obviously our salon, we try to run that through the salon as well.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make the salon elegant and timeless.
Yeah.
And like with the way we dress, we're trying not to dress too hairdressery. Like when we first opened up, we had like black and white dress code. That wasn't really the vibe. We've now changed it to a much more, softer, individual, sophisticated dress code. And it works, because then people trust us and they see themselves in us, and it's all a bit of an ecosystem, isn't it, with the brand?
The brand and the business has come such a long way over the years, hasn't it, since you've come out of London from one salon that you've had now onto the high street. How have you noticed that has elevated your brand?
I mean, to be honest, we've been super lucky. I feel like there definitely was a massive gap in the market in this area, particularly. And I feel like even if we just opened a standard, nice new salon, it would have done really well. But I do feel like the differences with the one-to-one appointments, our own products, the whole ethos with our staff, that we're trying to get them involved in the connection with people, I think that's been our sort of biggest selling point, basically. People absolutely love it. And at the moment, like, it's spread, it's amazing. We've got people coming from all over the country. Say sort of 90 to 95% of our business is referrals, which is great. But yeah, definitely having my own salon has just elevated everything. We're a young company. We're under 3 years old, so there's a lot more to come. It's exciting. Yeah, it's good.
So before we wrap up the podcast, what would your final parting words or bits of advice be for any businesswoman listening to this?
Yeah, so I would say have a think about what you want to achieve, what your plans are for the future, what your plans are for your business, and try and incorporate that into a brief for your stylist. So literally have a brief and show them. Say, this is what I would like to achieve by the end of the year. We had a lot of people coming in and my question is, what are your plans for 2026? Let's try and create a little hair plan to sit alongside that. So yeah, so basically create a brief from what you want, create a mood board for what you want for your hair and take it to your stylist and go from there. Maybe your long-term stylist who you feel like things have gone a bit flat with, they might appreciate a bit of a boost. It works both ways.
Yeah.
So if you produce a mood board, they might get really excited and sort of level up to your new level and meet you where you're at.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom today and really supporting the women to step into their higher selves and what direction they need to think about. So that's absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you.
And I will be back again with another podcast next week. Take care.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Design Boss Dialogue. If you love what you heard, then please share the podcast with your friends and any women that could do with a dose of empowerment just from me. I would love to hear your thoughts around today's podcast with your key takeaways and wins, because your feedback means everything to me. Also, don't forget to leave a review as well as hit that follow button so you never miss out on any inspiring conversations with me or any other trailblazing women I have on. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes, and remember, unleashing your inner design power and unlocking your true potential is only a click away. See you next time.